Hello, sir. I'm making a film and it deals with the topic of nepotism. Would you be interested to hear it?
First of all, I am interested, but whom are we casting?
We are casting Mohanlal's son, sir.
Hi, I'm Nikhit,
And I'm Omkar.
and this is Cinema Art-e-curated. So, today we are going to talk about a
Malayalam film.
Varshangalkku Shesham. I'm sorry if I butchered the pronunciation. Directed by Vineeth Sreenivasan, the guy who directed Hridayam as well. He can sing, he can compose music, he can write, he can direct, and he can act. Wow. Yet, he fails to deliver in this movie.
Strong words.
It stars Pranav Mohanlal, who also starred in Hridayam as well,
Ha.
and stars Dhyan Sreenivasan,
Who is his brother?
who is Vineeth Sreenivasan's brother. That's all you need to know
About the cast. Also, it has Kalyani Priyadarshan
for some
in a very forgettable role, but
cameo. It's a cameo.
But then, yeah, let's dive into the plot of the film. So the film deals with two underdogs. Basically, they are trying to make it after they are like big. One guy is a big shot in the village for being a musician, and other guy is a upcoming playwright. And they decide to move to Madras, wherein they are trying to make it big into the films. And basically, it's a them meeting again and again during the course of life. Uh, the friendship, basically a friends meeting over and over in life with different consequences under different circumstances and everything. And yeah, basically in the end they decide to make something and then come to terms with each other. That's the basic plot of the film.
To give a very brief review about this movie, it's a well made and compressed. It's not well made to per se, but then yeah, it's a good first half, which falls short to reclaim. क्या बोलते हैं वो?
Okay, Bharadwaj Rangan. For me, the film felt like it was two films compressed in one.
Yeah,
Like the
that's what I was
first
trying
half
to
was
say. Yeah.
a film in itself, and the second half was another one.
If the only first half of the film was like stretched a little bit and released, because that was a good
The
movie.
first half interval was after 1 hour 10 minutes something, right?
1 hour 20 minutes.
So that was like a Hollywood film ka running length almost.
It's a very long movie. It's around 3 hours, and of the 3 hours, 1 hour is just suffering. To be honest, I liked the movie at first.
I didn't actually.
I liked it. I didn't love it, but yeah, it was a good movie. One time watch. But then, when my thoughts started to marinate, like after the movie, when I was thinking about the movie, then the problems arise. So
You got in touch with the reality. That's it.
yeah. So I think Omkar will articulate well about the editing first.
Mainly, I would talk about the boat scene wherein he's telling him, "Why don't you go to Madras?" Like he's like, "Yeah, I can't leave this village." So in that scene itself, so there is a cut after every second. Like before the character starts to even speak, they cut it to him, like saying, "Like now it's your turn to talk." So that was the style of cutting, and it was very, fast cuts in the scene wherein it wasn't required in the conversation scenes as well.
So for a 20-second scene, there were 20 cuts.
Huh.
That's what I felt. Because I don't know why there was a need for showing every reaction. Like, there was no need to show reaction of a certain character when they're trying to speak with someone, right? So there's a scene, right? Where that producer loses the bet and comes to Pranav Mohanlal's room and
With a half mustache,
we never see, like, for a brief second we see that his mustache is like half chopped. That's
Directly.
it. That's the only half second we see, and we never see it again. So that's the problem, right? You can cut it after it like sinks in.
Like it wasn't given that importance. Like it was
I
a
know
come
it's
and
not
go
given,
scene.
but then I'm just trying to point it out, like how the cutting, like, editing was. And also the editor is a veteran actually. He's in the industry since 99, 98, somewhat. His name is, I think, Ranjan.
Okay.
Yeah, he has worked on very prominent movies in Malayalam. But yeah,
Isn't he like the common collaborator with Vineeth Sreenivasan for every film?
yes. he
Acha,
is,
acha, हाँ, बराबर, हाँ.
So,
I know him.
see, the thing is, if you're chopping it that much, then you don't believe in the script. That's what editors usually do. If they are dicey on the product, then they start to chop a bit. Like, see, also when Kalyani Priyadarshan and Pranav Mohanlal have a scene after, like, they are eating, like that scene, that assault.
मच्छी का भाजी,
Yeah,
the fish
after
curry,
that,
and then she reveals that
So
something
she
wrong.
reveals a thing, right? So even that he doesn't like. See, if I have said a dialogue, usually in movies, if I have said a dialogue, there is a scene, like there is a space after you cut it, cause you want to like sync it with the audience.
If you have said something serious, so you need to
Yeah.
give a little breathing space.
Yeah.
Like the topic should settle in. Like there something might have happened there. Like something has happened there actually. So you need some breathing space for that.
So every scene where Kalyani Priyadarshan appears, she's cut abruptly.
Before going to editing, let's go with the story and the characters.
No, I think we should talk about the technical aspect because those
First?
are the only few things we can.
Acha,
few
good things, acha.
So first of all, the music is great. It's from a debutant called Amrithan, I think.
Like the movie didn't go overboard at any point, even though there was a musician character in the film, they didn't overdo it.
Yeah, they didn't overdo it. That was like music was good, and there are a few songs as well, like Nyabagam. You kind of hum it like while leaving the theater because it's played 15 times in a movie. That's why. I mean, I know it's a good song. You don't have to put it every goddamn scene, man. Like, what 15 times, I guess. They played it all the versions, like that reverbed version, that slow version, and yeah, it's a
one
good,
for every age, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it's a good song and good music as well. Accompanied the scenes where the scenes felt quite dragged and dull. Even those scenes were kind of lifted up with the
because
music.
of the music.
Yeah.
And coming to the cinematography, I though enjoyed the cinematography. It felt good. Like so, coming the basic problem with the editing was usually in Malayalam cinema we are so used to watching long shots.
Yeah.
So in this film, a lot of scenes that could have been beautiful if they were long shots were destroyed by cutting haphazardly. So that was the issue here. So this thing, the cinematography, even though it was good, like it didn't do justice to the grand sets that were there in the film that they built. But even though they didn't do that, but then still the cinematography was very pleasing. But then it was brought down due to the editing.
So I'll partially agree. Okay, I like the cinematography at some parts, but then the thing is, it felt like they are shooting in a studio. It's a set. Nothing felt natural apart from the like apartment scenes. Those like the director where the director stays, right?
Which part?
That cassette scene.
Samjha.
Yeah, so those felt natural because they were.
That was a great scene. We need to talk about it. Yeah,
we'll talk about it later. We'll come to it. So yeah, it was okay. Nothing brilliant.
No, I liked the lighting part and everything and the frames because
lighting. We talked about the lighting during the film as well because lighting was well done actually. Even those the way the both friends confront each other, like after they met for the third time and they discuss, the lighting was well done.
I think there was a mesh kind of structure or something, and through that there was lighting. Yeah,
brilliant lighting. Yeah, that we have to get.
Like it's a cool, good film, but then it isn't what you call a great film. I would say that.
It's a good film, but there are many flaws that if you try to dissect it, right? If you try to watch it again, even for a normal viewer who's trying to watch it again just to enjoy the music or the movie, you will find the flaws because it's written that way. It's written. See, the problem with this is so. Should I get into the writing part?
Are you gonna spoil it? Fine, huh?
No, I'm talking about the writing.
Chalega.
So, there's a scene where Nivin Pauly does that monologue, nepotism monologue. Okay? So it was a funny scene.
It was an analogy to his real life.
Yep, it was.
Sorry.
It was. So it was funny, right? It was funny, right? But again, the thing is, he stretches the joke so much.
Too much.
There was no need of going forward and trying to do that stage thing.
Exactly.
There was no need. See, Vineeth Sreenivasan knows there's an insider joke there. There's a joke. He's trying to make fun of the real character, but then he stretches it so much that we kind of get bored of the joke, and then now the joke is not funny. It's just funny for Vineeth Sreenivasan. That's it.
Also, I had a doubt. So I didn't watch Tanirmatan Dinangal. So was the movie that they were shooting based on that film? Nivin Pauly playing his character?
Kind of, cause the guy in Tanirmatan Dinangal. Wow, that's the second time I think we have mentioned Tanirmatan Dinangal on this podcast. Crazy movie, you should watch. So Vineeth Sreenivasan's character is a
Male teacher.
Teacher. He's a teacher, like happy-go-lucky teacher. Very like always smiling, always happy. He's
Same.
trying to be like everything he touches solves the problem. He's like the Archimedes.
नहीं भाई पारस मिडास मिडास टच
Midas, right? Midas. My bad. My Greek mythology is bad. Yeah. So yeah. We'll talk about the writing like slowly. So what were you saying?
So yeah, so I'll talk about the storytelling structure starting. So the film starts as a period film, and then suddenly it jumps to present, and then in the present he's telling. So there's Vineeth Sreenivasan in the present also, like he's driving the car. So his brother, so from the past we jump into the present, and in the present he's telling the past ka story again. So why did they take that route of storytelling? I didn't understand. Like it was a bit taking you away from the narrative. Yes, sir. Even though we accepted that part, let's go into the film. And there was a good arc of the film wherein the musician is going through a downfall because of the decisions that he has taken. So that was a very great arc that he should have like kept it for a long time. Like it should have gone for a long time. Like properly dissected what happened, what went wrong, and what you say betrayal, not the betrayal of the friend, but then kind of like shoving his friend away now that he has tasted success and everything. So even that confrontation scene was very beautiful, like the way he kind of makes him reflect on his life and puts him down, like that was like a great metaphor thing that they did in the scene. So I like, so if they had made it like the conclusion or one film of that, so that would have been a very beautiful film and very emotionally intense film. But then that's where I was like, this film is great. And after that, they made another film, literally made another film in the film. So that's where my patience went off the roof. And I was like, yeah, I can't take this anymore. So they meet again, and then Pranav Mohanlal, who is like done makeup like an old man, but he moves like a young lad and everything, both of them. And I felt disconnected after that point. And after that point, the film went and took its own route, and then my attention span took another.
So it's a movie about friendship, okay? It tries to talk about friendship or like explore the friendship between the two main leads, okay? So hypothetically speaking, if I were to do a stupid thing between two of us,
I'm not his friend.
Hypothetically, you'll at least like wonder, right? Like within 7 or 10 days, yeah, you'll check up on, and also the thing is, he lives in a hostel, right? And which is like quite famous, and
He used to live there also.
yeah, and all the famous people come from that. So I mean, एक महीने में एक बार तो याद आ ही जाएगा.
IIT for film star in Chennai.
एक महीने में एक बार याद ही आएगा, right? So but then why the hell does he not like care about Pranav Mohanlal? So there is some incoherence between like the relationship, and felt very childish, and the conflict feels very forced. Doesn't feel that natural. Look at the friendship from Pranav Mohanlal's perspective. Just because he had a breakdown, like he had a fall off with Kalyani Priyadarshan, he goes off for some time and comes back to this guy, Dhyan Sreenivasan, to say that let's leave. Yeah, just cause he felt
I don't have anything to do in this town now.
yeah.
Initially, he was like, you won't be able to leave this town.
Exactly. So I don't know. The friendship never works for us. Like while watching.
Your point was right about them acting like toddlers. Even I felt that way. कि यार ये तो बहुत unnecessary लग रहा है. And the problem was, even if they fought that way, the way they got back should also be the way toddlers do. But they were very mature, understanding when they get back. So it's like this person acts in a certain way, so.
But sorry to interrupt. But that they meet, they don't get back. So when Dhyan Sreenivasan character, like his wife goes for some cancer treatment in Kochi, right? Kochi or some place. We have forgotten.
Not
He watched it 2 weeks back.
But not important to the plot.
Yeah. So he meets there, and they are quite old by then. So that's the first meet, and in between that, he gets a call from when Pranav's character is in Mumbai, and he's trying to be a music director there. So that's the only communication. Yeah. But you can give that like they get mature when they're.
If you are showing that the character is getting old, you should also act like an old person, which they weren't in the film. So
The costumes
fault is
don't
that?
help. Yeah, the costumes also don't
But
help.
the makeup and costume, they have done a good job, but then person else also need to act. So they are
Pranav doesn't look like a old guy.
like
Pranav Mohanlal.
they come with so much agility even as old people.
The hairdo and the way they dress, the way they talk, the demeanor they have, nothing works for them. Like throughout the second half, you are constantly questioning: Are they old enough to act like that?
But also after we came out of the theater, we had a discussion saying that people don't often change, like that. What you say, way they behave, the way they do anything is same like throughout their years, even if they're old.
I mean, yeah, they get cynical, a bit cynical. That's it.
Not always cynical, but then what you say, the physical capability of person to run, walk, or वैसा, the way they get down the flight of stairs very easily, वो सब so that should change, right? With years.
Yeah, Pranav, I feel like there are some scenes he shines there. Like like we can see, he's acting well, but then most of the movie it's just you questioning if Pranav Mohanlal is capable of acting or not. That's the only thing you'll think about if you look at Pranav Mohanlal, because the movie you won't be thinking that much. The writing feels very क्या बोलते हैं वो
Tropey.
full of tropes and also very convenient writing.
Very convenient. Yeah, almost nothing is emotional for me. Even though it was supposed to be a friendship drama.
Yeah, and a feel good movie.
The only highlight scene that I felt in the film was the part wherein, did we talk about this part wherein he comes back to the home and he says, I'm your friend and everything, like Dhyan Sreenivasan's house, and then he says like, I got a track, I'll make a music for you, give me a situation, and he tells him his situation that he is in.
Oh right.
Okay. Metaphorically. So that scene is one of the highlights of the film that I would remember because that was very well done. And then he walks out like leaving the cassette and everything which he had in his pocket all the time.
But I have a thing, okay. But why is he drunk?
मतलब अभी तो he's an addict after all this time.
Yeah, but he could have gone to like. See, there's a thing, but there's a mutual understanding between them. Okay, yeah. So that's counter
also
like that'll counter my
Also, he was drunk, so I think the scene would only work because he's drunk. Because before that scene, it is addressed that Pranav Mohanlal's character asked, "You don't want your friends to see me as a drunk guy standing beside you." So that's why now that he comes in drunk at home, so his wife even protests saying he should come back tomorrow and talk to my husband, but then he still stays. So he's like talking to a drunk friend that he told not to drink. So that was the dynamic that was happening. Amidst that, then he explains.
Yeah,
so that's why the scene works.
Yeah, that works. Now that I think of it, yeah, since the characters were very immature, yeah, that scene kind of works. Now it works. Now that you have said it, I think it works. The only positive aspect of the movie from the second half I take is Nivin Pauly. Man acts like he has his whole career on it. He has to bet his whole career on it. So yeah, he's done well.
Nivin Pauly plays himself, so that shouldn't be very surprising.
Yeah, I like those callbacks, right? That Alua callback when they are talking. Also, do you remember that dal vada scene?
In the start that happens.
See, whenever there's food, right? Okay, one thing I'll talk about is the way they've shown food here is like impeccable, like that you have to give. Because
only 2 food items.
No. The food plays an important role. So when Dhyan first meets Pranav at that meetup, he's drinking, he's eating, and we start with that food. There's a shot that shows food. Like, so I think food plays an important part in the movie. Also, Dhyan's affinity to dal vada, but the only thing that irked me was you could have used that dal vada thing so well. Whenever he's angry, whenever he's like sad, if you feed him dal vada, he gets happy. Like it brings him back to like something happens, right? You could have used that in the later scenes. No? What was the reason if you were like trying to say isko dal vada pasand hai? This is the information that you take.
दूसरा एक food का scene था, which is the fish curry, which was addressed.
No, it's not related to Dhyan. It's related to Pranav and Kalyani.
No, I mean in general in the movie.
I am saying Yeah, that I'll give because it's very blatant. Because they are meeting after 50
what
years.
else?
40
Where else could this मतलब ऐसा
uh,
pointed out?
every gathering, like every gathering or every group discussion has some food involved. Like either they are drinking tea, either they are like having breakfast. Even while the shooting is happening, when we meet Nivin Pauly for the first time, he's eating something. When he's in the caravan, he's thinking about what I should be eating for lunch. So food has a role, like food has a good role in the movie. But I'm saying there are many things like that in the movie, which like I have set up this, but there's no payoff to it. There's nothing more to talk about it. Do you have anything?
Also मतलब देख हर चीज का सेटअप एंड पे ऑफ होना जरूरी नहीं है according to me.
Yeah, but then you could have cut it, na? There was no reason. Since this movie is very like almost a 2-3 hour movie. It's a 3 hour movie, right? So if you felt कि
because
ये setup करके there's no
in the start scene मतलब वो ऐसे था basically कि he gets मतलब crashed by his dad, I guess, brother. Dad, हाँ. And then he goes back to his room and then the only thing that he looks forward to is that dal body.
So that's what I'm saying, right? If
But then that is also basically world building also ना कि that is the thing at home that he eats. जरूरी नहीं कि हर बार.
That's what I'm saying. If you are like using something, use it later. Some like in the scenes, right? There are many scenes you could have used that dal bada scene. That I'm saying. But like payoff कर सकते थे. Like,
but then I didn't feel the need for it according to me. Like I was like, okay, he's just interacting with the surroundings, so type of scene.
I felt there was no need for it to set up, like for it being set up first in the first place. But yeah, I think. So they use that Kalyani's assault as a thing, right? Kalyani Priyadarshan's character gets assaulted by her brother-in-law, right? And her sister is a what do you call it?
Paraphysic.
Yeah. So she gets assaulted by the brother-in-law, but then it's never really talked about. It just acts as a plot device.
Pranav Mohanlal.
Yeah, and that also feels very undercooked. And so the only problem is if you are using such a delicate matter like assault or something, right? Please treat it in a nice way. Yeah, like at least elaborate the scene properly. At least like give it an proper end. It's never been brought up again. It's used as a conflict for actually Kalyani's character doesn't need like
also it's basically serving the hero's journey.
Yeah, so it acts as a device. So it's just a request that I don't know if anyone's watching. I'm saying this. Don't use such triggering topics. Like some might get traumatized or something, but then don't use this or a woman as a plot device. So I didn't like that part, and also the ending. The ending. What was that ending?
Yeah, they did a cool thing in between basically.
Yeah.
The pre-climax.
So there's a movie called Funny Games. If you haven't watched, you should watch. And
the German one.
Yeah, it's the German one, not the English one, because it's very bad. The German one. So the ending is like it ends abruptly.
This is how we spoiled 2 films at once. Only at Art-e-curated.
I think we shouldn't talk about it. Yeah, we'll let it be. Yeah, so that was a cool ending, but then
he felt out. Then like it felt cool at that point, but then for the events followed by that were uncool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it felt cool for that moment, but then what happens later is that
he overdid this joke also. I felt again.
Yeah. I mean, why are you explaining it? Let it be, bro. I mean, he's stretching so far. I mean, I think Vineeth is a hack. I mean, writing wise, he feels like an hack. But yeah, direction I can give it to him. Like direction, there are some scenes which you will take, like which you will take with you even after the movie gets over. I think we'll also end it like how Vineeth Sreenivasan ends the movie. Yeah, please, if you like the movie, do let us know in the comments below. And if you like the video, share
you haven't liked the film.
so share the video with your
fellow haters.
fellow film enthusiasts, Malayalis.
And we will be doing a lot of Malayalam films too. Please
Yeah,
subscribe to our
this
channel.
podcast has become a Malayalam fan club at present,
point.
because the way we are covering Malayalam movies rather than our own language.
Okay. What is that language, by the way?
Cinema is our language. Yeah, we'll cut it here. Yeah, bye.